A 26-year-old American influencer just got banned from entering the United Kingdom. Her name is Valentina Gomez, and she is now saying she will come to the UK on a boat. So who is she? What did she do? And why did the UK say no? Valentina Gomez was born on May 8, 1999 in Medellin, Colombia. She moved to the United States with her family when she was 10 years old, and they settled in New Jersey. She later got a business degree and an MBA from a university in New Orleans, so she is an immigrant herself. But today, she is one of America's most controversial figures, known for very strong anti-Muslim and anti-immigration views. She ran for Missouri Secretary of State in 2024, and then ran for the U.S. House of Representatives in 2026. She lost both times, but she kept growing her online following by posting very provocative and shocking content. Let's talk about what made her famous and what got her in trouble. She first gained widespread attention when she burned a copy of the Quran and vowed to end Islam in Texas if elected to Congress. In December 2024, she released a video showing the simulated meaning fake execution of an immigrant and called for the public execution of undocumented immigrants accused of violent crimes. In April 2025, she interrupted a Muslim community day at the Texas Capitol building, where she made extremely offensive statements about the religion of Islam. In August 2025, she was banned from several social media platforms after burning the Quran. Then she came to the UK. In September 2025, Gomez spoke at a massive rally in the UK organized by far-right activist Tommy Robinson. More than 100,000 people reportedly attended one of the largest rallies of its kind in British history. At this rally, she delivered a speech that was widely condemned as deeply offensive toward Muslims. Gomez was scheduled to speak again at the Unite the Kingdom rally on May 16th, an event organized by anti-Islam activist Tommy Robinson. She had actually already been approved to enter the UK. She had received an electronic travel authorization, which is basically a digital visa for short visits. Everything was set. And then the UK government changed its mind. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood exercised her discretionary powers to exclude Gomez on the grounds that her presence would not be conducive to the public good that is official government language for "we think you will cause harm if you come here." I just got banned from England by a dirty Pakistani Muslim because I'm not coming to rape or kill little girls. The decision came after pressure from politicians and advocacy groups. The Muslim Council of Britain argued that allowing Gomez into the country would undermine public safety. Before being blocked, Gomez had also directly insulted UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer online, calling him out over the Muslim grooming gang scandals. Officials emphasize that while freedom of expression is protected, it does not extend to the promotion of hatred or extremist views. The decision mirrors a recent move by the government to block rapper Kanye West from entering the UK due to previous anti-Semitic remarks. Valentina Gomez did not take the ban quietly. She posted on social media, "I'm coming to England on a boat. They can try to ban me, but they cannot ban the truth. See you May 16th. In a video message, she added, "Plan A was by airplane. Plan B is for boats. I'm gonna hop on a boat, get free luxury accommodation, deliver my beautiful speech." This was a joke mocking the UK's policy on migrants who cross the English Channel by boat.
Valentina Gomez, why do you think it was unfair that you were barred entry to the United Kingdom?
Good morning, Piers. So good to see you again. Where are your manners, Piers? You're supposed to introduce me correctly. Come on, I'll give you a second chance for you to introduce me once again.
As what?
As the most beautiful and truthful conservative you'll ever meet. Piers, great to see you. Since you don't have the decency to do it, I'll do it myself. Good morning to all of my English lads. I'll be looking forward to meeting each one of you on May 16th at the United Kingdom rally with Tommy Robinson.
All right, can you answer the question? Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere.
I'm getting there. And yes, Piers, you said last time on your show, if I lost my election, I wouldn't be back. But never say never, Piers. And believe it or not, Piers, you're my favorite Brit, and Piers. So I cannot wait to hop on a boat, swim across the English Channel, meet Shabana.
Are you able to answer the question, or are we just going to go around the houses?
She's going to bring me some fish and chips, and we're going to have an amazing time.
All right. Just once again, you obviously didn't hear me, or maybe you didn't understand it, but just for simplicity, why do you think it was unfair that you were banned entry to the United Kingdom?
Piers, because I speak the truth, the same reason why the Bible is banned in every Muslim nation. And Piers, if you come after my First Amendment, I can assure you I'm going to use my Second Amendment, Piers Morgan, because that's the beauty about the First Amendment. Whether you disagree with it, we have to protect it at all costs. Just like when your wife goes online and asks to I would say, accommodated by pool boys, since you already know what's going on with that.
Okay, are you making some weird threat involving guns? I can't really keep up with what you're saying.
Absolutely not. I'm saying I speak the truth. I'm saying that I want every rapist and pedophile behind bars and publicly executed. I'm saying I want every terrorist dead. And I'm saying also that every Muslim should start respecting Christian nations and maybe hopefully go back to their 56 Muslim nations, Piers Morgan.
Your reaction when the British Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, banned you from coming in for this rally because of the incendiary, bigoted comments that you've been on the record as saying, was that you called her a dirty Pakistani Muslim and said, I'm coming to England on a boat. Obviously, that is grotesquely offensive, racist, bigoted, and vile. But also, there's a point I'd like to make to you is that Shabana Mahmood was born in Birmingham in England. She's as English as I am. You, however, were born in Colombia. You weren't born in the United States. So I would argue that Shabana Mahmood has much more validity to be considered English than you do to be an American.
Piers Morgan, she's from Pakistan. You're an actual British. And let's talk about Pakistan.
She was born in
for a
Birmingham,
second.
in the middle of England.
Her parents are from Pakistan. Let's not.
Yeah, she was born in Birmingham, in England. She was born in England.
And she's from
English
Pakistan.
Citizen.
Her parents are from Pakistan. And Piers Morgan, the Pakistan is not known for being the cleanest place on earth. It's actually a dirty shithole full of terrorists. I've never heard anybody say that they want to go to Pakistan for vacation. Finally, Piers, what a boatload of crap that was, honestly. Just straight up ranting nonstop. Exactly what Muslims do. Just try to confuse you, blow up, and just yell nonstop. Piers, let's be honest. Muslims are a threat to national security. That's why Christians in Nigeria are being slaughtered by Muslims.
Do you know how many Muslims there are in the world?
No, I don't need to know.
Well, have a guess. How many Muslims do you think there are in the world?
Way too many, Piers. I prefer one dog over 100 million Muslims.
Okay. Yeah, that's a disgusting, offensive, and vile thing to say. It's very much on brand for you. But how many Muslims? How many Muslims are there in the world?
Goats. They like to rape little girls. That's normal.
Yeah, how many Muslims are there? How many Muslims? How many Muslims are there in the world?
I don't know, Piers. That's not something I care about. How many Christians are in the world?
Have a guess. Have a guess.
Have a guess on how many Christians are in the world.
No, I'm asking the questions. How many Muslims would you think there are in the world?
I already said way too many, 1 billion. And they have 56 Muslim nations.
How many?
They should go there and live in their 56 Muslim nations very happily amongst each other.
You describe all Muslims, because you're disgustingly Islamophobic, you describe all Muslims in the most disgusting manner. You call them a bunch of killers and rapists and so on. I'm just asking you a simple question to put these views into context. Do you know how many people you're talking about?
Piers, I do not rape, and I do not kill, and I do not steal. That's something the Muslims
How many Muslims are there in the world?
I already told you.
You say they all do this. How many? I
already told you, way too many, Piers. Just like they have taken over the UK.
You've no idea, have you? You have no idea how many people you are branding rapists and killers. You don't know, do you? You don't care.
For me to say it's too many.
You don't care, do you? Yeah, you don't care how many there are, and you don't care the context of your vile comments.
How many girls have been raped by the Muslim rape gangs?
Piers,
go ahead, answer my question, Piers.
Are you going to try?
No, I'm talking to Piers right now. How many girls have been raped by the Muslim rape gangs? Just like Mohammed raped 6-year-old
Can I ask a question to Valentina?
The grooming gang.
No, I'm not.
The grooming scandal was an utter. The grooming scandal was an utter disgrace, and the perpetrators were finally brought to justice way longer than they should have been, and they were imprisoned for their disgusting actions. And what happened there was a repulsive. There was a repulsive failure by our justice system to bring these people to account. However, I am asking you, because you brand all Muslims with the same way that you brand the people that committed the grooming gang scandal. You brand all Muslims the same way, but you have no idea how many Muslims there are. There are nearly 2 billion Muslims in this world. And what you're doing when you talk about them as a community of people,
let's
is
say
you're
it's
tarring
1
all
to 2 billion Muslims.
You're tarring
Piers
all
Morgan.
2
Yeah,
billion.
that's still
all
too
2
many.
billion. You are tarring. Let me finish. You are tarring all 2 billion people with the same brush of being killers and rapists and so on. To which I say to you, that is the purest personification of vile bigotry, racism, and Islamophobia. Why don't you focus on people
Years.
of all religions
They follow a
who commit
book
heinous
that
crimes?
calls for the murder of Jews, Christians, Hindus, and infidels just because we don't abide, we don't bow down to their stupid rock, Piers Morgan. We don't do that in Christianity. In Christianity, if you want to be an atheist, if you want to worship a cow, if you want to worship a table, you're allowed to do that without getting killed. Because right now in Egypt, a 30-year-old man is being held in prison because he's about to get murdered by the government of Egypt because he is no longer a Muslim. He is now a Christian.
Piers, it's just not true.
And
Piers,
when
if
you
you don't
call-
mind,
when
can I
you
say
call-
something
when
here,
you call-
Piers? Piers, if you don't mind, can I say
Yes, I'll bring in Sammy Hamdi to respond, yeah.
Piers, I just want to. So she keeps talking
Sammy
about
just
the
rants.
idea. She keeps talking about this idea of rapists and the like. Piers, I went to the website of the Office for National Statistics and the Bureau of Justice of the Americans, and here you can see these are all the victims saying who their perpetrators are. And here they say that it's people that they know, it's their family members, it's their friends, it's their acquaintances. Only this small number over here is done by strangers or what she calls grooming gangs. You can see the overwhelming majority are done by those that they know or those or their relatives. Nobody says this is white Christian sexual epidemic. If you look at the population, she says that they're being taken over. This is the population of Muslims in the UK and in the US. In the US, 1.1%. In the UK, 6%. Tell me, where is the takeover that's taking place
Wait a
here?
minute.
Piers, when you look at the crimes that are committed against Brits, and I'm a Brit, I'm born and raised here, against our sisters and our daughters and the like, here are the crimes committed by Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris. Nobody says this is white Christian rape. No one says this is a white Christian problem. Everybody says crime has no faith and it has no race. This was committed by vile individuals and justice should be delivered. Piers, when you look at the Office of National Statistics and you see the number of people incarcerated in the UK, you can see that they are overwhelmingly white. But nobody says that this country has a white criminal problem. No one says that this is a Christian problem. Everybody says this is a criminal problem by vile people because crime has no faith and crime has no race. Piers, when you look at the mass shootings in America that kill students and kill their children, this is the data from the Bureau of Justice in America. This is by white shooters, this is by ethnic minorities. No one says that in America they have a white Christian shooting problem because they know crime has no faith, they know crime has no race, and they know that it is individuals who need to be brought to justice.
My question for Sammy Hamdi is about Valentina Gomez. Would you have allowed her into the UK?
Piers, part of me believes that it would have been good for Valentina to come and see the real Britain. The Britain that belongs to the family that I am in. The English blood that runs through my kids from Stenning, Brighton. It would have been good for her to come and meet the wonderful giants of Britain who are Muslim, like Timothy Winter in Cambridge, like Paul Williams, like Paul Keeler, like Suhail Hanif. It would have been good for her to see the realities of what Britain is like and how Muslims live in Britain and contribute to society. Because when Tucker Carlson finally saw it, instead of regurgitating the hate that he was doing in 2001, Tucker Carlson came out and said, I was wrong and I didn't know that Muslims love Jesus too and they believe in the second coming. When Candace finally got to see the reality, she came out and said that I was disgusted with myself for not looking in further. I believe Valentina is still young. She's in the early stages of what Tucker Carlson was. I'm asking her, skip the years that it takes to figure it out. Go and see what the world looks like. Go and see the reality, because your message of hate didn't work. Abdul Sayed, the Senate candidate for Michigan, a right-winger, turned up in his rally and told him, I'm here as a right-winger. Abdul Sayed put his hand on his heart and and said that I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad we can talk with one another. I'm so glad that we're standing together. Marjorie Taylor Greene says this is no longer a battle between left and right. This is a battle for America first. And the final point, Piers, I'll finish on this. Valentina's brother serves in US forces. That Valentina, instead of focusing on the 1% of American Muslims who aren't the problem in America, perhaps she should focus on the 42 million Americans living on SNAP who can't afford basic groceries. She should focus on the servicemen who return to America and sit in the freezing cold on Magnificent Mile in Chicago. She should focus on those ordinary Americans going bankrupt as a result of medical bills. There's a reason she was rejected in Texas, because no one resonates with that hate. There's a reason why she was rejected in Texas, because no one buys the hate anymore. What wins in America, what wins in the UK, the reason reform lost in Gorton and Denton is because Zach Polanski came with a message of hope. In America, Mamdani came with a message of hope. And even Donald Trump even Donald Trump, before the mess with Iran, even Donald Trump, when he won the election, declared that he had established the biggest coalition of Muslims and Arab Americans and the like.
I just want to say,
Sammy
Hamdi, that's enough, please. I would simply say to Valentina Gomez that sometimes when people show themselves, you should believe them when they show you. And your reaction to the English-born Home Secretary of my country, Shabana Mahmood, who's a diligent, hard-working, intelligent, decent person born in Birmingham in the Midlands of my country. Your reaction to her, calling her a dirty Pakistani Muslim, was one of the most disgusting things I've seen or heard in a very long time, and it showed you for what you are. You are a disgusting Islamophobic bigot that hates 2 billion people on this planet simply because of their religion.
They hate me too.
And shame on you.
They hate people like me. They hate people like you. They hate people like your wife.
We don't hate you.
You're only back.
I promise we don't hate you.
You're only back on this program. You're only back on this program because you were banned from my country. I say good on you, Home Secretary.
Because my message,
you're a more decent person
because my
than
message
Valentina Gomez could ever
Piers.
dream of being.
I wouldn't be
I'm going to leave it there.
if
Thank
my
you
message
both
didn't
very much
resonate.
for your contribution to this debate.